Okay, so today I'm going to talk about something very sad, a true reality that all stand-up comics have to face. It's an integral part of our growth. Bombing. Ah! No, it's nothing to be scared of, you know? The more you bomb, the more used to it you become and desensitized. And that's good in a way. Also bad because you kind of want to have that fear to make you want to do better, to improve. If I heard a story about Dave Chappelle not liking stand-up comedy anymore because he was doing well all the time. It just wasn't hard, and he just didn't know if things were funny anymore. So I don't think 99% of us will have that problem. So I think we're okay. But let me tell you, bombing feels terrible. It's deeply personal because stand-up comedy is a very personal art form. It's almost like 100% you. There's no one editing your stuff. You're doing all the writing. You're crafting it. You're often telling very deeply personal or embarrassing stories about yourself. And then if the audience hates it and they're not laughing after you just shared something embarrassing, it's doubly embarrassing. And the silence, oh, the silence. A lot of comics will say they would rather have people boo or yell at them than do nothing, to not care, to not laugh, to think that what you're saying is nothing. And there's a few defenses, natural defenses people have when they bomb. My natural defense is I talk a lot faster. I'll tear through my material. I won't let there be a second of silence. Like if I get to the punchline, nothing, I'm right away, or I'm going right to the next joke because I'm not even going to let you be silent. And then I just motor mouth my way through my whole set. And the other common thing that people often do, and I don't do this. No, there's three actually then. The three common things. One is that they'll attack the audience. They'll be like, 99 out of 100 places laugh at that joke. Like, how could you not get it? Or oh, you're a terrible audience. Or are you guys hungover? You guys tired? Do you know how to laugh? I don't like this way, and I think it doesn't help at all. You're just calling them out, and they're gonna think about that more often. The other way, and this way works a little bit, is that you kind of comment on how bad things are going. So it shows that you're socially aware and you know that you're not doing well, and people will laugh. And if you do a punchline, it doesn't work, you'll say something like, okay, well, that didn't work, or I need to work on that one, or I thought that would have gone better, It went better in my head, or that one's a new one, and now it's dead. Whatever you say, kind of self-deprecating in a way. And just like self-deprecation in your whole set, too much of it is bad. So if you keep saying that over and over, after every joke, it makes it way worse. So you can use that save maybe once or twice, but any more, and it's not good at all. And I find that people, because this has worked for people, comics jump right into it way too early. They sense that they're not doing well, but the audience is laughing and kind of are into it. But the comic is so scared that they instantly be like, okay, well, that sucked. And no, now you're telling the audience who was enjoying your set that you're not doing well and that joke wasn't good. And then it just kind of spirals downwards. That's why I generally don't even use the save. Unless I'm 100% sure I just bombed. Because comics are often very self-critical of their set. You think you're bombing, but maybe you're not. Maybe this is an audience that doesn't laugh a lot. They just smile. Or or they're not vocal, and then you're going to misinterpret it and say that the joke sucked or you're bombing, and then they're going to think your set is going terrible, and then that's going to affect them for the rest of your set. So I would rather not make that mistake and misunderstand how the audience is reacting to my set. And I'll just pretend I'm doing well, and I'll just do my set. Sometimes I can pull myself out because you don't want to make that mistake. You might be doing better than you think you are. But if you're 100% sure, you can use it maybe once or twice in a set. And then after that, cool. Just try to be better. I don't know. Be funny. Don't talk about how you're so shitty. It's just it's kind of like a crutch after a while. Don't make shitting on your set all of your material. Okay, so all those 3 defenses that I talked about, they have their faults. Like I just explained why shitting on your set excessively is a fault. But speaking too fast is going to be bad too, because you're going to lose all the nuances of your timing and your comedic timing and your pauses and everything. And it's also going to sound like you're nervous. You don't want to sound nervous. Then the audience gets nervous for you. Also, you blow through your material quickly. The audience can't comprehend and understand the jokes because you're not giving them enough time. Speaking too fast is it's not good. Attacking the audience, obviously, that's not good. They're going to feel made fun of. They're going to not be as jovial because you're shitting on them. Don't make fun of them. All these natural instincts that comics have when they're bombing, you should actually do the opposite. Try to speak a little bit slower if you're starting to speak too fast. That speaking slower shows confidence. Don't speak crazy slow. Then it just gets really awkward because then there's so much silence. Don't attack the audience, obviously. And don't constantly shit on yourself. Don't constantly make fun of your stand-up. But like I mentioned earlier, you're probably not doing as bad as you think you are. Everything is exaggerated on stage. And because stand-up comics have gotten several sets where they've done so well, you kind of remember those sets, the great ones, and that's kind of your bar. And then when you don't get that anymore, you feel like you didn't do well at all. But really, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to your best sets, but those are the ones that you remember. Those and the terrible bombs, obviously. I feel like most stand-up comics feel as good as their last 3 sets. If you've bombed 3 sets in a row, you're going to feel like you're the worst comic, and maybe you should just quit and give up. That's how strong bombs affect comics. You could be one of the best comics in all of Canada, have 3 bad sets, and now you feel like you're a bad comic. It doesn't matter. Bombing is not that terrible. The only time that I hate bombing is when my muggle friends are in the audience. If I invited someone out and they're watching me. Because my comic friends, we all know that bombing is a normal thing. But if you invite a friend or a coworker to watch you, they've never seen you do stand-up before, they're just going to assume this one instance, this is you all the time. They're not going to be like, oh, he had a bad set just one time, and he's probably great. No. There's something about watching someone and not knowing what stand-up comedy is like that you're convinced that you are able to see that they can never get better than what they just heard. It's very convincing that when you hear someone bomb, that if you don't know any better, that you think that's their life and that's their skill level. So, yeah, I don't invite friends and family and coworkers out often. It's just too much pressure, All right, that was this episode about bombing. Have you ever bombed before? Are you scared of doing stand-up comedy because you're scared that you're gonna bomb? Let me know about it, and I'll see you guys in a week.